What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Warriors Paradise. I'm sitting here waiting for my son at school, so I thought I would come on here and kind of give my reaction to last night's college football playoff rankings, the first edition. Now, I know people have issues with the top four for sure, but, there's the whole Oklahoma, Texas, OU beat Texas, they're behind Texas in their rankings. But, guys, a lot of this, it's going to play itself out. A lot of these teams still got to play. So, like this weekend, this weekend is Separation Saturday. If you just look in the Big 12 alone, if you look at the top 6 teams in the standings, the top 6 all got to play each other. So, a lot of these issues and gripes that fans have with the Big 12, it's all going to play itself out this weekend. And then you look across just college football as a whole, you got huge matchups. You got, obviously, LSU, Alabama. You have a big one in USC and Washington. And for OU fans, you guys know that I'm always hating on Tebow, and I like it when he loses a game. But Center Nation, we need to pull for Tebow this weekend. We do. They're playing in Washington. Washington's undefeated. If OU has a chance of getting into the playoffs, obviously some of these teams got to lose. So this weekend at the Coliseum there in LA, Center Nation, we all need to be Tebow fans, just for a couple hours anyway, and hope that they can pull the upset. That's going to be a great matchup. Defenses, final score could be 58-52. It could be a lot, maybe like the Texas Tech Oklahoma game, back when there was Baker against Patrick Mahomes. So you got Michael Penix against Caleb. Offense is going to light up the scoreboard all day long in that game. But unfortunately, we're going to have to be USC fans for a couple hours anyway. And then you look at Texas and Kansas State. Texas has been kind of shaky since the bowl game, Red River game with Oklahoma, as OU. Both teams got away with one, with Texas getting a victory over Houston a few weeks ago, and then Oklahoma, playing with fire against UCF, got lucky on that one, and then last week it came to bite them whenever they suffered their first loss at Kansas. So, just a lot of big games this weekend. You also have Georgia and Missouri. Missouri's ranked number 12. I don't even know the last time that Missouri's been ranked that high. The last time that I could think would be was it the 2007-8 year when Missouri was ranked number 1? I think. But anyways, so, yeah, like I said, a lot of these rankings, where people are, it's all going to play itself out. So, if you look at the top 25, the first surprise you saw was Tulane. A one-loss Tulane ranked ahead of Air Force. So, as you guys know, the best group of 5 team, the highest rated group of 5 team, will get a spot in one of the New Year's Bowls, New Year's Six Bowls. And right now, that would be Tulane. So, we'll see how that plays out. And then you got a bunch of Big 12 teams kind of jumbled together with Kansas, Oklahoma State, and Kansas State. And another big game in the Big 12, speaking of Kansas, is Kansas and Iowa State. Both teams are hot. We'll see what happens there. But you guys are pretty much going to know with the Big 12 who has the best chance of going to Jerry World in December after this weekend. And then you look 20 through 16. Surprisingly, they have USC ranked at 20. I don't understand that, but okay, whatever. They look like complete trash, but okay. Not really a whole lot else in there. There's a lot of Pac-12 teams if you look at the 16 to 20 range. Then you look from 10 to 15. Now, that's where I thought we might see Oklahoma, at 10 or 11. I just didn't know what to expect with the committee, because the committee has different criteria for different schools, and there's no consistency, and a lot of the time integrity gets thrown out the door. But if you look at 10 through 15, you got Ole Miss. Who else we got in there? Notre Dame. So, I think that section of teams was pretty fair. So then you get to the top 10. Like I said, you got Ole Miss at 10, Oklahoma at 9. So with Oklahoma, I didn't know if you were going to see Oklahoma at 7 or 9. 7 obviously being best case scenario. But they came in at 9, and then you had Bama at 8, Texas at 7, and then you have the two Pac-12 teams, and Oregon with that one loss against Washington at 6, and then you have Washington at 5. So did I think that maybe there was a slight chance that maybe they would have Texas behind Oklahoma? Sure. You know, Oklahoma beat Texas. Texas beat Alabama. So, you know, you would think, hey, maybe you would have Oklahoma at 7, Texas at 8, Bama at 9, but there's just no consistency. So we didn't really know what to expect, but they gave their ranking, and, you know, OU's 9, so all is not lost for the Oklahoma Sooners. And then you get, like I said, you have Oregon at 6. They are, I think, the best one-loss team right now. If I was anybody, I would not want to play the Oregon Ducks right now. They are a very dangerous team. Then you got Washington at 5. They look a lot like Oklahoma. Yeah, they're scoring points, but the defense, it's not doing well against teams that they should be dominating. So, of all the undefeated teams, Washington by far is the shakiest. I mean, I can see them getting beat this weekend by Tebow and USC. So, that's the one team that I don't see going undefeated. And if by a miracle they get through the regular season, they are not beating Oregon in the Pac-12 championship, guys. That's not going to happen. Oregon is going to run wild over Washington. And then you look at the top 4. So this right here, if I was a committee member, I wouldn't even have Michigan in the top 6. One, you have the scandal with the guy and getting signals and stealing signals and going to various games and sitting in the stands and sitting on various sides. And it's just a big old mess. Michigan is going to get punished, but it won't be this year. So the punishment is pretty much useless. But I wouldn't have had Michigan ranked in the top 4, but they did. So at 4, I was surprised. You saw Florida State. And then at 3, you came in and there was Michigan. And then at 2, you had Georgia, and 1, you had Ohio State. So with that top 4, I don't agree at all. For me, I would have had Ohio State. I feel like they had the strongest resume. They had wins over Notre Dame, a ranked team. They beat Penn State, another ranked team. They still got to play Michigan. But I think if you look at resume and the eye test and its overall pieces that they've built for the resume so far, Ohio State is the number 1 team. At 2, I would have had Florida State. Again, better resume. They've had better wins than Georgia and especially Michigan. So for me, I would have Ohio State 1. I would have Florida State 2. At 3, I would have Georgia. You know, if you look at their schedule, their best wins would be Kentucky and Florida, I guess, for now. But if you look at Georgia's schedule, I mean, they still have Tennessee. They still have, who else is it, guys? Missouri this weekend. And I can't think the other team, but they have a pretty tough schedule to finish up their regular season. And then, of course, you would think that they'd be playing Bama in the SEC championship. So Georgia hasn't really played much so far yet with their schedule, but they are going to get tested for sure here in the last month of the regular season. And then Michigan. There was so much speculation about what were they going to do with Michigan. Well, they showed that integrity was just thrown out the door. You know, they don't care that people cheat. They don't care that people cheat or, you know, steal signs or whatever. There is no integrity with this committee, but they put Michigan at 4. Now, I was happy with that. You know, Georgia 3, Michigan 4. I'm cool with that. My thing they talk about eye tests. Michigan has played absolutely nobody, guys. Nobody. So I don't understand what if you take any of the other teams in the top 10 and have them play Michigan's schedule, yeah, they're going to look dominant too. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. But, you know, Michigan is playing Ohio State here soon, and they still have Penn State. So I'm hoping, man, can't wait to see Michigan get beat. And I think what the committee is going to do is they're waiting for Michigan to get beat by somebody, and then they're going to drop them way to the back of the line. That way they can justify, well, you know, they lost the game, but with everything going on with their program, we decided to move them down to, you know, let's just say 10 or 11. So that's what I think the committee is hoping for. But, you know, to wrap up this video, guys, it's just week one. Like I said, this weekend is huge across the landscape of college football. A lot of big matchups, a lot of ranked matchups. Separation Saturday. So from the Big 12 to the SEC, you are going to see just great games all day long. A lot of contenders are going to become pretenders. And a lot of underdogs are probably going to get some upset wins this weekend. So great weekend of college football coming up. You know, for Oklahoma this weekend, we have Oklahoma State. I will be doing a video tomorrow, you know, talking about the 119th edition of Bedlam. And I think I was looking at the record earlier, and Oklahoma has been dominating, of course, but I want to say they have 92 wins, 17 losses. No, 92 wins, 9 losses, and 17 ties. So this here could be the last Bedlam game for a long, long time. So I'm excited. Can't wait to watch that. So you guys look forward to that video tomorrow where I'll be breaking down OU, OSU, and the last Bedlam game that we're going to be seeing for a long time. So you guys let me know below in the comments. What do y'all think of the top 4? What do you think of the overall top 25? What are your issues? What do you guys see moving forward? So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Boomer.